events as well. Today, ladies and gentlemen, the symposium is about reintroduction of GSP Plus, as I mentioned before, to Sri Lanka and the expected consequences to the export of garments. The University of Moratuwa, as all of you know, is well known for its engineering education and the Department of Textile and Clothing Technology. It's the largest manpower training provider of textile and apparel to the apparel industry in Sri Lanka. Furthermore, the Moratuwa University Textile Association is alumni of the Department of Textile and Clothing Technology, comprising of more than 1,000 graduates, a majority of whom are employed in the apparel industry in Sri Lanka and some internationally as well. So the association is organizing this event with this current topic, of course, and will feature a gamut and wealth of speakers from both institutes as well as private sector to speak on various topics today. But to begin the proceedings, I would like to invite the President of the Moratuwa University Textile Association to address the gathering. Please put your hands together for Mrs. Vijita Ratnayaka.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to see you all this morning at the Hotel Pillsbury for the symposium on GSP Plus and its impact on apparel export industry. GSP Plus has been a controversial topic in the recent past, and it has attracted more prominence with the exit of Britain from EU. As the biggest industrial exporter earning the highest foreign exchange to Sri Lanka, the apparel industry is highly exposed to the economic turbulence in the market. Therefore, Moratuwa University Textile Association, which is the alumni association of graduates of the Department of Textile and Clothing Technology of University of Moratuwa, decided to organize this symposium to publicize the knowledge of eminent personalities on the current economic developments which affects the apparel export industry. We hope that this event today will give you valuable insights on different aspects of the impact of GSP+. Firstly, I would like to warmly welcome our distinguished chief guest and keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Harsha De Silva, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, who readily agreed to be with us today and share his views. Prof. Jayawardane, Vice Chancellor of University of Moratuwa, it is a great pleasure to have you with us at this event organized by MUTA. I wish to welcome Professor Rahul Attalage, Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Moratuwa, Professor Kapila Pereira, Dean, Faculty of Engineering, University of Moratuwa, and Dr. Ujita Gunasekara, Head of the Department, Textile and Clothing Technology, University of Moratuwa. I am pleased to welcome the speakers on this occasion. Mrs. Sonali Vijayratna, Director General, Department of Commerce, Dr. Saman Kalegama, Executive Director, Institute of Policy Studies, and Mr. Ruwan Karagala, Financial Director, MA Sentiments. Without whose valuable contributions, it would not have been possible to hold this symposium today. I am pleased to welcome Mr. Kiuli Kure, General Secretary, Joint Apparel Association Forum, and Mr. Saif Jafferji, President, Sri Lanka Apparel Exporters Association. It is a great pleasure, a great strength to have you both supporting and individuals of the university. You have been the guiding light of this department, and it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome Emeritus Professor Lakdas Fernando, Founder Head of the Textile and Clothing Technology Department and the Patron of Alumni Association MUTA. Further, I wish to welcome the past President of MUTA, Professor Dharmasri Wickramasinghe, Dr. Gamini Landrol, Dr. Sanat Jayawardane, and all the academic staff members of the Textile Department who are here today with us. My special appreciation goes to Dr. Nirmali De Silva, who has supported the organization of this event. I am happy to welcome all our sponsors who are well represented this morning. Companies include Stretchlight Private Limited, MS Intimates Private Limited, Ocean Lanka Private Limited, Natura Groups of Companies and Apparel Technologies Private Limited, who have come forward to sponsor this event. Their support is invaluable. Finally, a big welcome for all the participants in the audience. I thank you all for being present here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ratnaik. Ladies and gentlemen, and now to address the gathering, I'd like to invite the Vice Chancellor of the University of Moratuwa, Professor A.K.W. Jayawardane.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Dr. Harshali Silva, the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Moratuwa, Professor Jayawardane, Dean Engineering, Professor Apparel, the Head of Department, Dr. Udita Thulusekara, Professor Lakta Disida as well. Your seat is here. All the heads of departments, and also Mrs. Sunali Vijayaratna, Dr. Saman Kanikaman, Mr. Ruan Keregala, all the resource persons, Mrs. Vijita Ratnaika is the President of the MUTA, staff members of the Textile and Clothing Technology Department, distinguished invitees from the industry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to speak a few words at the inauguration of this very important topic, GSP Plus and its impact on the apparel industry in Sri Lanka. And I know that all the very important players are here, the policymakers, the supporters, Mr. Thuli Kure, the President of the JAF, and the policymakers, supporters, the players, everybody is here. And you have been talking about this aspect, I think, for a long time, and it is high time again to talk about and see how we can really shape our industry to face the competitive advantage. Let me first take this opportunity to congratulate the MUTA, Moratuwa University Textile Association, for your initiative all the time throughout your career or your sessions to address a very important aspect which is relevant to the apparel industry, being one of the prominent departments in the University of Moratuwa. And Dr. Dharmasri Singh is here as well, Dr. Sanat Jayawardane, former presidents as well. And they have been always taking initiatives to address very important issues to the apparel industry, also with regard to human resource development as an education provider for this very important industry. Congratulations and thank you. Let me also extend your appreciations to all of you, the industry, specifically Dr. Harshali Silva. I know he has come with very busy schedule, and all the speakers and all the key players from the industry for your presence. And I think your support to the University of Moratuwa has been immense in the past in many aspects, and we really appreciate today your presence and also the support that you have extended to the University of Moratuwa in the past. The importance of the GSP Plus to the apparel industry, I'm not going to talk about because we have the whole session today. We have all the experts who can talk about, all the strategists who can talk about that aspect. But for sure, we know that it is extremely important for us to have a competitive advantage as a very prominent exporter of apparel in our industry here in Sri Lanka. If you do not maintain, obviously, this competitive advantage, we will lose the market share in the world. And the importance of apparel industry, again, I need not highlight because everyone knows about the importance of apparel industry. One thing is very common or very well known, that you can talk about GSP Plus or subsidies or quotas or favorite consideration or whatever the term that you consider initially for any industry. But the fact is that we cannot have all these kind of facilities throughout. And as a country, it is extremely important that we need to gear ourselves to face the free and fair competitiveness or competition throughout the world. And I think as players, that is what we need to aim for ultimately. Because no government, no industry can always sustain if you don't have free and fair open competitiveness or competition throughout the world. And that is the thing that we always need to aim for. This certainly tells us how to position ourselves in the industry, the strategies that we need to use, the technologies that we need to adopt, the kind of human resources that we need to produce and develop, the productivity aspects that we need to address, and the correct partnerships that we need to have both within the country and outside the country as well. And if you consider all this entire thing, we can also take it as an ecosystem. And if we need to be competitive in the world and to retain or even grow our market share, we need to address all these aspects. And we all need to be aligned to ensure that all the players that we talked about are in fact doing their roles properly so that we can retain this competitive advantage. This ecosystem, when we talked about policy. We have the CEO of policy studies here, Minister of Policy Studies, and we are talking